You might be wondering from the thumbnail of the video, what the hell am I talking about? There's no way any amount of Tony Hawks could beat Spider-Man. Well, first of all, let's go into what Spider-Man we're talking about. So, first of all, we're talking about the. Alright, sweet. Right. The weakest version of Spider-Man is a powerless Peter Parker. No. Powerless Peter Parker. The weakest version of Spider-Man who actually possesses powers is the powerless Peter Parker. What the hell are you talking about? And abilities. Like, holy shit. Spider-Man Noir or Spider-Man Earth 616. So we're gonna do Spider-Man Noir because that sounds more fun. Okay, so let's get into this now. So we have, hang on, Spider-Man 1. How strong is Spider-Man? The proportionate strength of a spider. So he's slightly weaker than like the base Peter Parker. So like I guess that makes sense if you understand what that's trying to say. Um, he's strong, I guess. So it says he can kick down steel doors, shatter chains, and casually damage brick walls. And then we're gonna do the so you can assume that the durability that he's able to break down is steel door level, which I don't know. I don't know if a brick wall is stronger than a steel door. I don't know. Mm. What I do know is that we're just gonna say that his damage, Spider Noir's damage level is steel door. Hello, fucking eating acid. Holy shit. Sour popsicles, bro. All right, now we gotta. Oh, what is the durability of Sony Hawk? Yeah. Physical resilience bouncing back from severe injuries, and skull. Over a multi-decade career, Hawk has persevered skating through injury list extensive. Surprisingly, did not break a bone until he's 30. Dude, I don't give a shit when he broke a bone. Just tell me his durability. Here's what we're gonna look up instead. Could Tony Hawk take? Wait, no. First, how much ESI would it take to destroy a steel door? To completely destroy a steel day, 45. Yeah. We're gonna do 35,000, so it's easier on Big Tony here. Can Tony Hawk survive 35,000 PSI anywhere? Holy shit. Anywhere on Earth, megapascals. Uh, no. Okay, so Spider Noir, one tap Stony Hawk. That's what we discovered. It's not that hard to even, we didn't really have to discover that anyway, but we did. So now, now that we know that Tony Hawk gets one shot, now we need to figure out how many Tony Hawks it would take to beat Spider Noir in a fight. And I did enough of my own research, so we're just gonna go to ChatGPT. We're gonna say, how many Tony Hawks would it take to defeat defeat Spider Noir? I don't know if that's how you spell it. I don't really remember. Spider Noir in a fight. Mm, Spider-Man. That's yeah. Wall crawling. Oh, I thought they just called Spider Noir wall level. Single Tony Hawk, no chance. So 1 to 10, Tony Hawk's Spider Noir wins easily. 50, Spider Noir's probably still winning because Spider Sense makes them incredibly hard to hit. 100 plus Tony Hawks this year, number starts becoming a problem, 700. Around 200 to 500 Tony Hawks, depending on how much comic book power Spider Noir is allowed to use.
He's not in his comic mode, you dumb fucking idiot.
He's in his normal mode. Like the normal, like, like the show mode is holy fuck, you know what I'm trying to say. If they're all on skateboards and fighting in a giant skate park, the Tony Hawks gain a morale bonus. Oh my god, if they're all on skateboards and fighting in a giant skate park, the Tony Hawks gain a morale bonus and the number drops slightly. Alright, we're getting the exact number. So chat's joke answer is 200 to 500 is enough to overwhelm a grown man. So now, okay, now we have the base set here. It's 2 to 3 people to overwhelm one grown person. So we all know Tony Hawk is above average. So how how am I gonna word this? How much stronger is Tony Hawk and okay, how like you than an average person? Alright, if you're comparing Tony Hawk to an average adult, their ability is much higher. Power scaling term, power scaling terms. Why do you have to say it's a meme? Just say it's reality. Because we all know Tony Hawk is like that. So durability much higher. Tony Hawk's been speed not dramatically higher. Battle IQ hard to measure because he's named fighter. However, his ability to read movement and split-second decisions and adapt during complex tricks is far above average in an actual fight that might translate better to better awareness and quick thinking, but not necessarily combat expertise. So durability is is it like compared to an average human? Like an average human 0 out of 10 for every one of these, or like just like 5 out of 10? Like what? I don't know. I'm just gonna say that it's 5 out of 10 because speed is 5 out of 10 anyway. So his durability is um, was it 1.3 times higher? Because you need a 1 to make sure it's not negative. So it's 1.3 times higher than the average human. Reaction speed is 8 times, or again, 1.3, 1.1, and then that's for skateboard IQ, you dumbass chat GPT. Overall, that makes Tony Hawk 5 times stronger than a normal human. So, so I'm doing some calculations. I'm just gonna guess and say, okay, so we have five times the normal human for Tony Hawk. Spider Noir is, I can do it for this. How about for Spider? No, 10 to 20 times higher. Okay, well, we don't really care about any of these other things. Oh, there's a chart. Oh, this stuff. Okay, so I was like right. So, average person is 1x. Tony Hawk is 1.2. So, okay, we'll say Spider Noir is 100 something. Or no, he's 20. We'll just go with the higher one. It's 20 times the normal person thing. And I'm just gonna multiply all these together and then divide it by the Tony Hawk combination here. So, um, times 20 again, times 20 because of durability. Running speed is 5 times, so x5. Uh, reaction speed is 20 times, so x20. And then middle IQ is times 10, so times 10. That means Spider Noir is like that much better than normal human, I guess. And now I gotta get another calculator. I'll see you later. And this is for Tony Hawk, which is 1.2, 1.2, 5, x5, x 1.2, x 1.2, x3, and then x2. x3, x2, which leaves us with 43.2. So that means Tony Hawk is 43.2 times better than the average human, which means that Spider Noir is 1, 10, 100,000, 10,000, 400,000 better times better than a normal human. So this means that if we take Spider Noir's power level and divide it by Tony Hawk's power level, we'll get the exact amount of Tony Hawks we need to beat Spider Noir. So again, 43.2 divide 43.2. Bang. It would take, we're just gonna round this up to the nearest one. So it would take 9,260 Tony Hawks to beat Spider Noir in a fight. You're welcome. That took a lot of calculated estimations, but we got there. Now we know that this is what happens. Oh, and to make absolutely sure, here's what we're gonna do. Good. Control V. Change that to 60 for the roundup. Tony Hawk's beat Spider Noir in a death battle. Yes. Tony Hawk could almost certainly overwhelm Spider-Man Noir. However, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. They basically did every calculation I did. Now, here's what we gotta do. Good. Control V. Tony Hawk's beat Spider Noir. If it says yes, it's wrong. Probably yes. Wait, that means you got it right because this was a a definitive yes. This is a definitive yes, but we went down one. It says it almost changes nothing, but it says probably yes. Uh, Overwhelm akin to fewer Tony Hawk is 0.01 reduction attacking force the majority of the time. It says the majority of the time. So so what it's saying is for the definitive absolute 100% of the time amount of Tony Hawks to beat Spider Noir in a death battle is 9,260. You're welcome. I hope you enjoyed this absolute peak that I just came up with out of nowhere. And we'll see you next time.